Hey, what's up, guys? It's Fula with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. I'm very tired of boxing at this time due to numerous reasons. The politics, the fights not being made that we want to see, and just a number of other things, the talk and not doing, and j- the social media pettiness as well, and things like that. So I decided for one day I'm going to take a break from boxing, and I'm going to bring you guys a video about traditional combat sports we do back in Africa. As you If you don't know already, I am of West African background. My family is widely dispersed throughout West Africa, be it in Senegal, be it in Ivory Coast, be it in Nigeria, be it in Cape Verde, be it in Guinea Bissau, be it in Mauritania, be it in Nigeria. We come from a big tribe, therefore, we're dispersed in different places. So, two of the sports that I want to bring your attention to that we do in West Africa are called lute and dembe. Now, lute is very similar to any type of traditional Greco-Roman wrestling. The object of lute is to get your opponent on the ground with all his joints on the ground or on his back. You usually have 3 rounds to do that. And there's also another way to do it. Instead of getting him on the ground, if you can force him out of the ring, then you win too. Now, in some versions of lute, they let you punch. In Senegal, you get to punch in their version. But in most of the versions that you see, like in Niger, Chad, Nigeria, and places like that, their version of lute, you don't punch, you just grapple. So it's a very just grappling sport. It's not really one of striking. The only time you strike is basically when you try to um, go for the kill, in essence. And the difference between loot and the other, how should I say it, the other combat sports, is that in America the combat sports is like in MMA. The object is to get your guy down on the ground, stop him or knock him out, or do things of that nature. That's the object mostly. The object is to stop him completely. Like that's what you have to do basically, you know. But with loot, that's not the object. The object is to just get your guy on the ground and just let him be, and don't go too far, you know. And one thing that needs to be said as well about loot is kind of the history of it. Now, the history of loot is it was like for chauvinism. It's like it was for like the alpha male to show like females like, hey, I'm I'm that guy, So if a female was looking for a potential suitor, then loot would be the way that would make them say, hey, I'm kind of I'm kind of feeling this guy. He I'm feeling his ghost. So another thing that loot was for was just also a pastime. You know, if you're like a fisherman or something like that, and you just got some time on your hands after fishing, then what you would do is you would do some loot, you know, keep you occupied. But now, I will say this: loot is a national thing. It's became to a point where fighters who do loot make big bucks. Like, I kid you not, for taking down a guy, for just doing a simple takedown. Some of these professional loot fighters bring home 250,000, 300,000 US dollars. It's became a very popular sport. You have a lot of sponsors. You have some uh, cell phone companies are sponsored, who are sponsoring it, and you have even different kind of like food vendors who sponsor loot as well. So what I want to do is I want to show you how loot is done by this video, and show you that it definitely is about grappling more than anything else. And that, if you take guys who do loot and you polish them up a little bit, they would be able to do some MMA. They would be able to dominate, basically, if they decided they wanted to do it. They already have the wrestling background. All you have to do is add the striking and add the counters and stuff, and they will be good. But when you look at them doing the grappling, I mean, they kind of know how to already get in the position to keep guys off of them and turn the tide on them too. Here, check it out. So these two guys are fighting, and this fight was in 2018 as well, and they take place in Niger. So as you see, by him holding his hand, he's keeping him from grabbing the leg, which is the easiest way to take him down. That is the leg. So you see that they're good at inside grappling. You know, they're that's what they're good at. And you see that they're jet black, and at times I wish I was more jet black. Just a random thing I threw out there. But yeah, look, you see? Goes for the leg. Yeah, it's over. It's over. As soon as he got that leg, he's trying to hold on, but nah. Once he got that leg, and boom, that's it. That's how it works, basically. So the second sport is called dambe, and what dambe is dambe is a different animal than loot. Dambe is a form of boxing, but the thing is about the boxing is you don't use both hands for boxing. One hand has a glove on it, but the other hand is used to, how should I say it, as defense. It's almost like a it's almost like the hand that you have as a boxing glove is is like your spear. That's like your weapon. And then the hand that you don't use, the free hand that doesn't have the boxing glove on it, is like a it's like a shield. It's a very different monster. Now, mind you, the technique with dambe is way different from boxing. Even the way you throw the punch is different from boxing. When you look at dambe, what they're trying to do is usually throw that overhand right or left. That's what they're looking for. That's the money punch. That's the haymaker. And unlike boxing, with dambe, it's a one hitter quitter. Once you hit the guy and he's on the ground, boom, that's it. You don't go anymore. You don't try to knock the guy out. You don't try to stop the guy. You don't go to the body or anything with dambe. All you're pretty much doing is head hunting. You're looking for that big knockout punch. And sometimes it can come in the form of a counter as well. And then another thing about dambe that is different from traditional boxing is you can kick as well. You know, they allow kicking. Now, a lot of people don't utilize kicking, but it is allowed, you know. So you can see here that if you put the two together, if you were to like create a fighter who specialized in loot and dambe, you may have something, and they can just be polished, go to the MMA or whatever the case may be, and yeah, probably kick some ass. You know, the thing is about the dambe is they're looking so much into the haymaker that everything else gets neglected, including the jab. You know. Now, there is a chance with dambe though that it can go to points. You know, if you don't get the knockdown after three rounds or so, what they're gonna do is they're gonna be like, okay, well, who was getting tagged the most, so they go after that. So what I'll do is I'll show you a video of some dambe boxing, and you will see how it is done. To be honest, I think you get more tired from doing this than you do regular boxing, because I mean, you're essentially looking for that big haymaker, and you may miss a lot of shots before finding it, you know. So here we go. Show you some dambe boxing. Okay, here we go. Let me show you guys a little bit of something. Don't laugh. So here's dambe. As you see, one hand is free and the other one is has the glove on it. You see? That's what it's about. and they do it in the sand to get the foundation, you know. And that way, if someone gets hit, it's not going to hurt that much. As you see, he kind of got tagged, you know. So here we go again. You'll rarely see someone try to go to the body. Rarely, you know. You see, he was just waiting for him hit that counter, you know. Again, you know, it's just a game of timing with the Danbe boxing, you know. Barely any movement, you know. You'll barely see them moving around in the ring or anything like that. You know, using ring generalship. It's just like toe to toe. You know, they'll just go toe to toe most of the time. You won't see guys moving around. So, I just wanted to show you guys some, you know, African combat sports and just show you guys that, you know, we do have the traditional ways of doing things and it still lives on to this day. And, you know, pretty soon when I go back home for holidays, I'll be able to vlog and I'll be live and direct, and then you guys can see. You know, personally, I still sometimes watch Loot a lot. I don't watch Dambe that much, but you know, if I had to, you know, choose a thing, you know, I would do the traditional wrestling. You know, I like the traditional wrestling. It's pretty good to watch. Um, they're they're over pretty quickly too. That's the thing. The matches are over. They don't take that long. But yeah, that's all I got for now, guys. Just leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you could would you watch something like that, basically. And I'll be back probably with some more boxing and some more soccer news tomorrow or so. So, Njarama.